What's going on, guys? And welcome to another edition of Inside the Hatches exclusive interview. I'm your host, Jerome Jones, and we here with none other than Trey Carter. Trey Carter is a guard from Coastal Carolina. They are on a high streak at 5-0 right now, undefeated, and they are ranked number 20 in the nation. Trey Carter talks to me about his past experience, what brought him to Coastal Carolina, and how's the feeling of getting all the hype right now across the nation. And we talked about their crazy celebration after that 28-14 win over Georgia Southern last week. Without further ado, let's jump right into it.
Perfect.
How you been so far?
I've been good, man. Feeling healthy. Feeling good as a team so far, so I don't have much to complain about.
I can only imagine you being on a high right now because your team is 5-0, first time in school history. You're ranked for the first time in school history. You're ranked number 20 right now in the nation. How do that feel for you guys? What is your feeling right now with you being ranked in the success of the team right now?
Well, obviously confidence is high with everything. You know how everything's been going. The thing with the ranking thing, we don't get too crazy about it because it's at the end of the day, it's just a number by your name. If we play somebody that's ranked, all we think about is just a number by their name. That was not our end goal in sight. But obviously it's flattering and it's great to get all this press attention and stuff like that. But right now we're just trying to make sure we keep our head down and keep the main thing.
Definitely. With all the hype and everything, is there like a different feeling now? Like you get, like you said, you're getting all this press and all the hype, and people are reaching out to you now. Is it that much different from you? Is it, I know it's an abnormal set circumstance for you. How's that feeling for you?
Oh, it's great, man. A lot of people the past 3 years I've been here just write us off. We walk by them on campus, they don't think much about it. Now people kind of notice us a little bit. I don't really care that much about what people think about me anyway. But I know for the other guys that they've really enjoyed, being thought of a little bit more and maybe gain a little bit more respect around campus.
Definitely, that's awesome. That must be an awesome feeling to be able to do that and have you, not only you but your team more in the spotlight. But let's go back a little bit to your beginnings at Coastal Carolina. Before you got into Coastal Carolina, you was a 2-star recruit from Monroe High in Alabama. Kind of tell me about that process with going into your recruiting process and choosing Coastal Carolina as your school.
Yeah, so recruiting wise, a lot of people, they saw my height and they automatically said, they just shoot me to the side. I had offers from a few FCS schools, and then Georgia State offered me, but I didn't hear much from them after they offered me. And then Coastal was the other FBS school that offered me, and I just felt the best here, and it was definitely the best decision I ever made. But a lot of schools just told me they didn't like me because of my height, and I said, all right, well, they can kiss my butt. I ain't worried about them.
Well, you turned out to be a really guard for Coastal Carolina, and not only did you play guard, but you also play center as well. So can you tell the people what's the difference between both positions, and what is it that with playing both positions that stands out to you?
I'd say the biggest difference to me at center is you don't play in as much space. At guard, you're playing in a lot more space, so it's a little bit different. At center, usually everything's right on top of you, real fast. I'd say the difference is at center, you just got to be more aware of everything that's happening at center. You got to be aware of all the points and stuff like that, which you need to know at guard. But at center, you got to be the guy that's pointing everything out. And at guard, it's just more like you just got to be able to move in space and get your hands on people. Because people are gonna hit you with quick moves and stuff like that. But that's really the two main differences that I could think of between the two positions.
Is there any preference? I know you mostly play guard, but would you prefer playing center, or it doesn't matter to you?
I'll play whatever they tell me to play as long as we score points.
I love it. All right, so obviously I watched some film on you. You're a great guard. You got some great accolades to you. But watching some of your film, I would call you a bully on the field. Like I see you taking down guys, finishing. Would you think that's an accurate assessment of yourself?
Yeah, I appreciate it. I try to finish people as much as I can. I want to I play as hard as I can because I want other people on the team to see how hard I'm playing. I want them to, that to motivate them a little bit as well to get after people. But I definitely play to the echo of the whistle, if that makes any sense to you.
No, definitely makes sense. And since you've been at Coastal Carolina, you had some great accolades. What would you say contribute to your success at Coastal Carolina?
I would just say that I work my butt off. I think you could ask a lot of people that and they would agree with you. Because when I came in here, I knew how to work, but I didn't know that it was like this type of work. You know what I'm saying? I had to really reassess. I got humbled real quick when I got here. As a true freshman, I had my welcome to college football moments a few times. So that really got me where I was like, hey, this stuff's real, dude. You gotta put your head down and figure it out. So I remember the whole off season my freshman year, I was just working and trying to get to where I could get, body wise, and obviously there's still work to be done. You're never where you want to be, but I'd say that's a big part of what's contributed to what I'm able to do.
Speaking of you be coming in as a true freshman and things like that, we got to interview some of your other teammates, CJ Brewer and Teron Jackson already. Playing against those guys day in and day out, how did they help you grow as a person and grow as the all-pro guard that you are?
Yeah, I mean, those are my guys. Those are some of my best friends. We all came in together. They're two of the best linemen in the Sun Belt. So obviously going against them every day at practice is going to make you don't have any choice but to get better, unless you're just going to lay down and let them whoop you. So so them being on that D-line is a huge, huge thing for us. That helps us get better every day because, we're not going to see many D-linemen better than those two. And, that's just how it is. But they're a big part in my success is getting better as a player.
And also in another interview I've seen that you took before, it said that you blocked big names like Javon Kinlaw and Inside the Hatches interviewee Colin Saunders. We got to interview him. He's a very good guy. He played for the Chiefs, got a Super Bowl last year. How do you think you held up to them, and what was your experience with playing against like big guys like that?
I played against the Sanders dude from Western Illinois. That's who you're talking about, right? The Western Illinois D tackle.
Yes.
I played against him my redshirt freshman year, and I held my own against him, but I definitely didn't whoop him by any means. He got me one time on a chop spin move and got a hurry on me, but he was a real good player. I remember watching him in the Senior Bowl doing backflips. I was like, man, he ain't supposed to do that at that size. He was an athletic freak. And then Kinlaw, I went against him 2 years ago. He was a real good player. He was so long, dude. He's probably one of the biggest people I've ever seen, in person. Like the dude's a legitimate 6'8", 6'9". But that was a great experience just to get better as a football player going against him. He got me a couple times. I got him a couple times. That's just how the game goes. But yeah, those two guys they were definitely big time players, and I knew it when I was going against them.
Being with Coach Jamie Chadwell, he took you guys from being 5-7 last year to being 5-0 and undefeated this year. And like you said, you are ranked number 20. What was it that he did to kind of change the dynamic of the team this year? And what would you think is the cause of your success?
Well, the big off-season thing we had this year was 24 was our number. So we lost five games by a combined 24 points total. So, all those games, we were right there in it till the end. We were just focusing on finishing as a team this offseason and stuff like that. And believe has been his motto. And the I in it's a one. It's just talking about one. We got one unit, everybody buying in to what we need to do for a common goal. And those have been the two things that he's really done a great job of pushing on us as players and on the coaching staff. And so far it's been working.
I'm pretty sure you've seen the photo that's going around on Twitter and things like that with the picture of the offensive line, their size and things like that from the broadcast photo. What would you say about people? You kind of alluded to it earlier with you guys being a smaller group, but what would you say be your success being a atypical offensive line size?
Yeah, we're a close-knit group. We all get along. That's a big thing when it comes to communication with the offensive line. We know how to communicate efficiently across the line. And we got a lot. I mean, we just got a lot of scrappy guys. You know, they're not going any Saturday we go out there. Nobody's scared of who we're going against. You know what I'm saying? We don't care that people are taller than us and stuff like that. And I think it's created a chip on a few of our shoulders. You know, we've been told all our lives, you're not tall enough. You can't block people in college football being that height and stuff like that. So I think that's been a big contributor to us as players. And I'd say that's the one thing right there. Those are two things right there that really help us work together.
That really shows a testament of the mindset of you guys have in that locker room. Hey, we're smaller guys, but we're not going to allow you guys to bully us. I really like that.
That's right.
All right, let's talk about a little bit about this previous game against Georgia Southern. Obviously, going into this game, you had your freshman quarterback, Grayson McCall. He got injured for this game, so you had your backup in. What is the difference between, is there any game plan differences or game plan changes, or is there any kind of different feeling when you have a different quarterback behind you?
So as an offensive line unit, nothing really changes for us at all. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different person back there saying the cadence. But as a running backs getting a feel for a handoff, there's small details like that. That's a big thing. Different feeling with a handoff to a running back, different type of pitch on an option play, and definitely receivers. Quarterbacks throw different. People can't tell from watching, but QBs throw different types of balls. So receivers are able to read it differently and stuff like that. So, but as an offensive line unit, we don't really change anything that we do.
Obviously, this game was a big game. It was close and at halftime. It was tied at halftime. You guys pulled it away. Had a great win. I seen this video online. Pretty sure you know exactly what I'm about to talk about. Where you guys had a wrestling theme stuff going on in the locker room. First of all, I want to know, what is your take on that? What did you feel about how that happened? Was you surprised? Was that what was your thought during that whole celebration?
Yeah, so Coach Willie Corn was in charge of our celebration this week, our trophy. We play for it. We play for a trophy every week, and this one was submission week. And he was showing us a slideshow of all kind of different holds that people do in the WWE and stuff like that. And like if it affected the C5 vertebrae, the C6, the F5, stuff like that, how much pressure you had to put on the vertebrae to make them tap and stuff like that. And so I knew he's a character, so I knew we were in for something. I didn't know it was going to be that big of something. You know what I'm saying? I had no idea it was going to be that crazy. But yeah, the locker room was crazy. I mean, the video doesn't do it justice. I mean, everybody was going and everybody was losing their mind. I know when I saw Coach Dunn dressed up with he had the hair and everything and the full suit, and they brought the ladder out. I said, okay, something's about to go down that we wasn't prepared for. And I don't know. I mean, it was exciting, man. It was fun. I should have had to pay for that type of entertainment.
Man,
that was a good time.
Yeah, when I seen it, I was just crying, just dying laughing. I felt bad for who had dressed up as the bird, as the eagle. I felt bad for him, but it was definitely entertaining. It was very fun, and it just shows how much fun you guys have in the locker room and things like that. So I thought that was hilarious, seeing that for you.
Yeah, it was fun.
Let's get back a little bit to you a little bit. So what have you heard about like your draft stock? Like, have you heard anything about that? Or do you not listen to that stuff kind of right now?
I'll be honest with you. I haven't even Googled it or looked it up or even thought about it, to be honest with you. That would be awesome to be considered to get drafted and stuff like that. But that's not something I've focused on. I've just been focused on the team and winning as many games as we can this season, to be honest with you.
Definitely. Yeah. So like no scouts really come to you or anything like that. Like, hey, you have.
We've had some at practice. Yeah, but I don't even know if they're allowed to talk to us because I haven't seen them talk to anybody after practice.
Okay. Got you. So obviously this is being your final season that you have right here. What was some everlasting memories that you want to be remembered by your younger teammates and your coaches after you leave Coastal Carolina?
Hopefully they see that I worked hard. I did whatever I could for the team. I played injured most of the last season just because I wanted to give us the best possible chance of winning. I've been a leader for the past 2 or 3 years I've been on the team. And hopefully they just see, that I gave my all and I did everything I could to help Coastal Carolina win.
That's awesome. That's great. Well, let's get into some final fun questions to end off the interview, and it's gonna reflect you and your teammates and see who you know on your team. So let's get right into it. Who has the craziest nickname in the locker room?
It's probably Isaiah Likely. Mm-hmm. It's not crazy, but it's probably the best one. He goes by Gorilla.
Gorilla?
Yeah, he's good. You know, I'm sure you've heard of Isaiah Likely.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, he goes by Gorilla. He's one of the best tight ends in the country without a doubt.
Yeah, big guy.
So I think that's probably the best nickname we have on the team that I can think of.
So who is the class clown of the group?
The class clown is definitely, it's either Silas Kelly or Teddy Gallagher. Those two guys are funny, man. It's definitely between those two. Yeah, I mean, they'll say stuff off the walls you won't even see coming. I'm sure some people would say I'm a class clown too, because I like to have fun and joke around too. But if you were asking me, I would say it's either Silas Kelly or Teddy Gallagher.
That's actually what I was about to say next. That I heard you might be the class clown. What do you guys say about that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I like to mess around. I like to have fun, So I'll lighten the mood with jokes and stuff like that and mess around with people. But that's just what I do. I've always been like that. I've always been a high energy guy. I used to get in trouble in class when I was a kid all the time for being a class clown. So I've gotten better. I've matured with age, but I'll still bring it out every once in a while.
Awesome. So who would you say is the best Madden player?
Oh, dude, I don't even have a gaming system, but I think it's. I've heard Shamari Jones is the best Madden player. I've heard he is routing people.
Oh, really?
That's who I heard is the best Madden player. Running back Shamari Jones.
Awesome. So who has the best hitting talent?
Sammy Thompson.
Sammy Thompson. What is it?
Sammy Thompson, the center. He can play a lot of instruments. He's like a instrumental guy. He plays for his band at his church and stuff like that. So a lot of people don't know that about Sammy. I think he can sing a little bit too. And CJ Shrimp can also sing a little bit as well. He's a good singer. But other than that, I mean, I can shoot a deer from about 200, 250 yards away. I guess that's a hidden talent I have. But
that was gonna be my next question. What was your hitting talent? So I heard that you like to hunt as well. What is it about hunting that you like?
I just like being out in nature, man. I don't care if I even see a deer. I just enjoy being out there, being in the woods. It's like calming for me. People do yoga and stuff like that for the mental health. I just enjoy hunting. It's fun. I get more nervous when I'm shooting at a 8-point buck than I do on 4th and goal in a football game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So just that's something I really enjoy doing. I've always had a good time doing that. Another hobby I do to clear my mind, I like to ride dirt roads too. I do that all the time when I'm back home. I got a couple spots here that I know of that I'll go ride by myself. So and Teddy Gallagher will ride with me too. That'll be our little mental health session. We're going a little ride around, listen to some music. But yeah, that's a little hidden talent of mine, hunting.
Nice. Is that like an Alabama thing or just kind of a trade
I
thing?
think it's a Southern thing in general. Where I'm from, though, everybody deer hunts where I'm from. Yeah, definitely. Where I'm from, it's a huge thing. But I think it's a Southern thing in general that most people do like to deer hunt.
Definitely.
But that's my assessment on it.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely like to do that one day. Maybe one time I'll come down to Alabama. We can go hunting together.
Oh, yeah,
I'm from Jersey, so we're around the city. Yeah,
you in the city then.
Yeah, we're all in the city, so we don't get a lot of that. So I would love to come down to Alabama one day and shoot some deer with you one day.
It's fun, man. Just hit me up.
Definitely. Who would you say? Obviously, your offensive lineman, so you probably get to see this question a lot. Who eats the most on your team?
Who eats the most on my team?
Yep.
That Teron Jackson can eat. I'm gonna go with Teron Jackson. Sammy Thompson can eat a lot too, though. Yeah. But I'm gonna say I think Teron will go to the buffet and just tear the whole thing up. You know what I'm saying? They'll be wanting to kick him out after he gets his fourth. But that's probably the guy that I would say that eats the most food on the team.
All right, awesome. All right, last question. Who is most likely to get lost on a road trip?
I'm gonna say Alex Spillum is the most likely to get lost on the road trip. For sure. He's a funny dude too. Yeah. He likes exploring and stuff like that. So I could see him just going outside for a walk outside the hotel and then not coming back for the bus ride.
He's gonna kill you for saying that.
I know.
Well, Trey, it was definitely a pleasure talking to you today. Looking forward to seeing your success for the rest of the season. Us at Inside the Hashes are definitely rooting for you, and we hope you nothing but success going forward. Not only as a player, but as a person as well. We love your personality as a person.
Appreciate you, boss. Thank you for having me on.
That will include my interview with Trey Carter. I'd like to thank him so much. He was a great guy to talk to, really fun to talk to. And I'd like to thank all the listeners for checking us out. And please make sure you check us out on InsideTheHatches.com where you find all our content. Also, make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, Inside the Hashes. And also follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts where you can find all our exclusive interviews. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a great day.